Joe Rogan didn't just watch the footage from Diddy's court case, he lost it. What he saw wasn't a celebrity scandal, it was something far darker. As the courtroom played chilling footage from one of Diddy's private events, Joe stared in disbelief. He had heard the rumors for years like everyone else, but now there was proof, and once that video started rolling, there was no unseeing it.
Like all this Diddy that's coming out. Like,
I was just going to say, doesn't that sound topical?
Jesus Christ. The first day of the trial, did you pay attention to any of that stuff? I looked at it for like 10 minutes this morning, and I was like, I gotta stop. I can't look at this.
Joe has covered wild stories on his show before: political corruption, cults, Hollywood cover-ups. But even he admitted that this was something different. This wasn't a party, Joe said. This was a performance staged with fear and control. What was supposed to be a look inside Diddy's glamorous lifestyle quickly turned into the most disturbing moment Joe had ever witnessed in connection with the entertainment world. As the footage played inside the courtroom, it became clear to everyone watching that this was no ordinary celebrity gathering. The guests weren't smiling, they weren't relaxed, they weren't partying. They looked tense, nervous, and robotic, glancing over their shoulders like they were being watched, because they were. Joe pointed out how the entire event felt choreographed. People were paired off, guided through the mansion like a museum exhibit, and told exactly when to laugh, clap, or speak. It wasn't freedom, it was control.
He was filming everybody, right?
That's the rumors, yeah. I don't know that there's any proof or anything other than that.
The thing is, like, we're getting the rumors from the internet, and the internet thinks that the Taliban took out that bridge in Baltimore. So it's like, who fucking knows? Who knows what's real?
That's what Diddy's lawyers, I think, said. It was like that these are just trumped up charges. Not trumped up, I don't think they said that, but like bullshit charges.
Dude, when Homeland Security invade your house,
You got problems.
with dudes with fucking guns and body armor. Well, it's just amazing how many people in the Diddy party list that are supporting Kamala. Too.
Yeah, seriously, it's like insane.
Publicly, openly, like all in.
Yes. It's like J-Lo, like was like his ex-girlfriend, and it's like now deciding she's like warning people against Trump. I'm like, well, wait a second. So how many people did she warn against Diddy?
Right.
Oh, 0. Okay.
Right.
Well, maybe we shouldn't trust her opinion.
What's going to happen though, you think?
Well, Diddy's going to be in jail for the rest of his life. I think he's probably going to get.
Think he's going to sing though?
I don't know. I don't even think it matters. I mean, it's a lot of it is.
But then it's just another Epstein.
There's
it's another
murder
Ghislaine
cases.
Maxwell,
But
where
there's
somebody
murder
gets indicted and
cases.
nobody else indicted for trafficking kids to
right
no
to
one.
no one.
He made her call him Pop Pop and described how his eyes would go
You know
back.
why Pop Pop?
Why?
Because that's her grandfather's nickname.
No.
He asked, what's your grandfather's nickname?
What?
She says Pop Pop. She says, moving forward, I want you to call me Pop
Bella.
Pop. Hemen.
This is- what?
Pop Pop is the name he wanted to be called because that's what she called her grandfather. Not even her daddy, her grandfather.
Wow.
Go back to that Pop Pop, the fact you just added up right there, Rob. So Diddy was asked what Cassie called her grandfather, then made her call him by that name. Testimony, Pop Pop.
Like if she's gonna be warning people, why did she never warn anyone about Diddy?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The whole thing is so strange to watch play out. It seems like the Diddy thing was like an Epstein type compromise deal where he had, whether he was doing it himself, conceivably, people want to think that he's attached to some intelligence agency or something like that. I think he's a gangster who made $1 billion and knew how to control people by compromising them. That's what I think.
I mean, everybody hung with Diddy. That's the other tricky thing. Like, Diddy hung out with everybody. And I've spoken to a bunch of people who are like, yo, great dude, like, always there for you, never asked for a single thing.
Till 1 a.m.
And then freak off.
Everybody says, get out of the house.
Yeah.
It's like the gremlins start eating after midnight.
One of the most haunting moments in the footage, Joe said, came before the party even began. As guests arrived, staff took their phones and forced them to sign non-disclosure agreements. Not requested, forced. These weren't friendly greeters. They moved with a cold, authoritative presence. It was clear, no phones, no witnesses, no way out. Joe called it what it was, a system of silence. For years, rumors had swirled about Diddy's infamous gatherings, stories about A-list celebrities, secret guest lists, and a no-phone policy that was treated more like a command than a preference. But now, thanks to this court case, the public got its first real look behind the velvet curtain. According to Joe, what was revealed wasn't about music or networking, it was about power, pure, disturbing power. Joe didn't hold back. He slammed not just Diddy, but the entire ecosystem that allowed this behavior to thrive. You mean to tell me nobody saw this coming? He asked. You mean to tell me all these industry people went to these events and didn't think something was off? Joe made it clear. This wasn't just one bad night. This was a pattern that had been hidden for years under the glamour of celebrity. And when it came to those who stayed silent, Joe was especially critical. He called out figures like Jennifer Lopez, who once dated Diddy, for never publicly warning people or speaking up. She'll talk about politicians all day, but not a word about this? Joe questioned. That's selective outrage. That's silence when it matters most. He then pointed to something bigger. To him, this wasn't just about Diddy throwing strange parties. It was about a system, a strategy used to maintain influence and control. I don't buy into every conspiracy, Joe said, but this looked like leverage. These events weren't for fun. They were tools to keep people quiet. He speculated that people were filmed, managed, and manipulated so that Diddy always had the upper hand, whether socially, financially, or legally. The most damning part, Joe noted, was how calculated it all appeared. This wasn't chaos, this was structure. Guests were told where to sit, who to speak to, and when to leave. Some depositions even revealed that people weren't allowed to leave the property for 24 hours or more. One guest said they weren't told where they were being taken until they arrived. Another said they needed permission just to use the bathroom. Joe summed it up perfectly. That's not a party. That's a prison with music. The impact on Diddy's image has already begun. Big name brands are quietly stepping away. Streaming platforms are reducing his visibility on playlists. Collaborators are distancing themselves. For someone who built a legacy on being flashy, fearless, and untouchable, the walls are closing in fast. And Joe knows why. Once people see the truth, the shine wears off, he said. And what's left? A man who built his empire on fear and control. Joe ended his rant with a warning, not to Diddy, but to the young artists watching. He spoke directly to those chasing dreams in an industry that can be as dangerous as it is glamorous. Fame is not worth your freedom, he said. No opportunity is worth your peace of mind, and no amount of money should make you ignore red flags. Stay sharp, stay grounded, and never trade your dignity for a chance to be famous. Before wrapping up the episode, Joe announced that all the ad revenue from that segment would be donated to nonprofits that help protect young creatives, groups offering legal aid, mental health support, and contract reviews. His message was clear: it's time to build a safer, more honest entertainment industry. And his final words hit hardest of all. People say these guys are untouchable, but all it takes is one video, one courtroom, one person willing to say, enough.